I'll start off. I was curious, how have you changed as a player since you got to Clarkson? Like, is your style of what you do on the ice much different than what you did like at Northwood or before you got here? Or?
Not really. I still play a physical game, tough down low. Try to play down low a lot, finish checks, and just it's my kind of game.
Have you always been like, even as a kid, was that the style of play that you liked, or is that something that you kind of grew into as you got bigger? Or?
Yeah, I was little. I was never really a big finesse player. I was just kind of a kid that just kind of grinded it out and played hard and did that kind of stuff. And I just kind of worked on that throughout the years. And
that's curious too, like going from OFA to here. At what point did you really start to realize that you had the potential to maybe make it to this level as a player? Like, how old were you maybe when you first started thinking that this was a realistic goal to have, or
Well, ever since I was little, I wanted to play college hockey, but I think as I got to probably my 9th grade year at OFA, and I started looking at different places to play, and I just kind of really started pushing it to go to play college hockey. And then when Mark Morris asked me to come and play at Northwood, that's when I really started looking at colleges and trying to get to college level.
I remember obviously watching you play in the Section 10 championship game here. Back then, did you have any idea that this would be like your home rink someday, or was that something that wasn't too close?
No, I had no idea. At that point, I was just kind of like just playing hockey just to be the best I could, and I didn't really give it much thought. But pretty much right after that is when it started kind of picking up for me.
Obviously, I remember on that team you kind of had to do carry a lot of the load. Is that where you started to get maybe physical? Because I would imagine you probably were the target of a lot of stuff during games from other teams because they knew if they had to stop you to beat OFA.
Yeah, back then I took a lot of hookings and slashings and stuff like that, so it kind of toughened me up a bit, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I was curious too, because I remember you from football too. How do those games compare physically? Like, how do you feel after a hockey game compared to maybe how you used to feel after a football game in high school? Is it similar, or is it?
Kind of, I can't really remember, but I don't know. Football, your hands got banged up a lot. You got hit pretty good, but hockey's the same. But hockey, I feel like my whole body's just exhausted after one game, and you got to do that 2 nights in a row. So football, you only do that once a week.
That was curious too, like when you're a little kid, because obviously I know when you're on teams, you don't really get a chance maybe to do as much. How often did you get to go to watch like Clarkson or St. Lawrence play when you were younger? Was that something you did a lot?
I actually watched Clarkson St. Lawrence pretty much once or twice a year, every year. I didn't go to many college hockey games, but when those games came around, I usually found a way to get to those.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite players growing up, like that were on either of the teams when you were a kid?
I really was going to them a lot. I was kind of too young to really remember. I was just kind of there for the game. But
what's it mean though? I mean, obviously, like I'm sure you'd be happy like if any Division I school had taken you, but to play, near your hometown, how much more special is that than if you were like at, Princeton or someplace right now?
It means a lot because you're from the area, you know the area, people know you more, and you're kind of playing for like a hometown team, and a lot of people come to support Clarkson, and a lot of these people I've known before and I've interacted with, so it's nice.
Do you get a chance much to go? I know Ogden's a little bit of a haul from here, but do you get a chance to go home much during the season, or is it rare when you get a chance to go?
I usually just go home on breaks, maybe the occasional weekend, but I usually like to stay here. Yeah. When I have my free time, I'll stay here and relax with the guys here. So.
I want to ask you too a little about this weekend coming up. You got like a stretch similar to January because you guys have 5 games in 9 days. What did you guys learn from that first experience of having that many games in 1 week that can help you this time around? Because it's a little more break this time because you have 9 days instead of 7. But
yeah, well, we have to. Last time I don't think we brought it every night. We kind of got a little relaxed, but this time I think we're going to be more prepared every game, knowing that it's going to be a struggle to keep that same energy. And if we don't have the energy or we don't have the speed or the jump, we're just going to have to simplify our game a bit more and make the easy plays and play a tough game.
Oh, Friday's game too, I was going to see about because Brown, you guys are 2 points ahead of them for a home ice spot. How big is that to get a win there and get 4 points ahead and have a little more of a cushion, especially also have the tiebreaker with them?
Yeah, I'd say that game's probably a little more important even than Yale. They're both important games here. Every game from here now is important, but to get home ice advantage and to stay a little bit ahead of Brown is what we need.
The last thing I was going to ask about was you guys have the St. Lawrence game coming up on Tuesday at Appleton. Even though you didn't win the series last year, how big was it that you guys, won the one game? Because it's got to be, I would think, odd when you go to an arena that you've never won in to have that confidence that you can win there. I mean, how much does that change things that you guys know, that it is possible to win the game?
Well, I don't think it's been like that. I think it's just every time we play St. Lawrence, no matter if it's here or up in Lake Placid or at St. Lawrence, it's always a tough game. Seems like guys always bring a little bit extra to that game. I don't know why, but it's just that rivalry there. Guys just step it up on both sides, and whoever, it could be anyone in each rink. I don't think the rink really matters. I think it's just whoever puts the puck on that one at night.
I guess the last thing I should ask before I forget, I know you're not a senior yet, but what do you want to do after college? Do you have any kind of career in mind, or I was just wondering what your kind of future plans are after hockey's done?
As long as I can, and when that stops, I'll get a job somewhere.
I didn't know if you had Right. Well, thanks, Jake.
All right, nice.